Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, if we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. And when you register, you must use your real first and last name with a space between your names. And you must have a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can do this during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos, matter of fact, Sparky's at Muncie, Indiana right now giving you live streaming coverage of the contest. If you enjoy that and you find that information informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, subscribe and share the videos. And please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel membership, which starts at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account. And so I'm doing it, and I'm asking you to partner up with me to support this hobby. Now, you also can show your support by using the super chat, which is located below the chat box over here. It's like a big dollar sign. You can donate any amount you like there. And please support the hobby. I think it's a tremendous value that you're getting for even the memberships, because you have Sparky, who has, I think, 55 or 60 years of experience, and we have other people on our panel during the shows that have experience being national champion or even in some cases a world champion, and not to mention all those years of experience that you can glean and ask questions and learn from. And so I think it's a tremendous, I consider it a steal. You know, why wouldn't you want to support your hobby if you enjoy it? And there's no free lunch here in the United States, so please support us. Now, I want you to let you know that this is not my YouTube channel. This is Sparky's YouTube channel. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. If you locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot of me flying at the Nationals back in 2019, you get a chance to see me do the stunt pattern. It was a bucket list day for me to be at the Nationals, and I really had a great time. And I was able to fly a beautiful and light plane. That was Sparky's plane, not my plane. And so it was a tremendous opportunity, tremendous time. So check it out. And if you'd like, subscribe and share there, I would appreciate it. Also, when you join our YouTube channel memberships, you become a member of this YouTube channel, and there's member-only videos that are only available if you're a member. So all that tied up with a bow, I just think everyone should really pitch in. It's not a lot, $4.99 a month. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children and grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post the link at the Stunthangar forum. Let me get there now, and I'm going to post the link. There it is. It is posted right now. And let me go to what I call the control panel. I see that it is streaming on YouTube. That's great. Wonderful. And let me get to where I can see what's happening. Hope you guys been checking out the live coverage that Sparky's doing. I know that he could be doing other things besides holding the camera or watching and trying to take care of all the things that it takes to do that. So, and he also did the Pampa banquet. So that's pretty. I haven't seen that video yet. I look forward to watching that. And it's great. You know, I like watching and listening to the videos while I'm in my shop working on my planes myself. It's a great way to do it. Let me see. So we have Tom Rammel first in the chat. Thank you, Tom. He provided us with a like. And then Caffeine. He said, I'll be joining the session in a few minutes. Thank you, Caffeine. Great. Let's see here. Let me do this here. And let me see, what have I been doing to my plane? I actually, I have a Cardinal profile, and I was trying to insulate the fuel tank from the vibration of the fuselage. So I put some plumber's wrap. I kind of laminated 2 layers of that stuff. And I got some these bonded washers, which have a rubber bonded underside. So just to kind of, I haven't flown it yet, but I hope that takes out some of the oscillation of the fuel tank and the fuel. And we'll see when I go flying. And I'm also working on my electric SV11, and I figure I need to spend some time on that plane. Haven't flown it since the Las Vegas event back in last November. So I'm working on some rails. I got some ideas from Tryan, and working on making these rails so that I can mount the battery between the rails and have, you know, a lot of air going over the battery. Before, I had it encased in a foam compartment, not allowing any air to get around it, and it pretty much shortened the battery's lives. So let's see here. We got 8 concurrent viewers, and we have 7 likes. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It's almost 100%. Now up to 11 concurrent viewers and 7 likes. So please smash that like button as soon as you can. It won't cost you anything to hit the like button, and it helps the analytics of the show. So I was watching some of the coverage today. I got a chance to see Classic, and I saw Tom Dixon's flight. That looked very good. I missed Sparky's flight in Classic. I know that I saw Intermediate. That was the day before that. And I didn't see the banquet. I hope to tune that in next time I'm in the shop and listen to that while I'm working on my plane. But didn't get any practice in today. I do fly sometimes on Mondays, but I didn't. Our whole household is just under the weather, sick, and all kinds of uncomfortable. You know, it's just so. And even me, I kind of a touch of that. So didn't get out there today, but hopefully I'll be out there later on this week. I'm looking forward to getting out there. And so let me do this other thing real quick. I'll wait till someone comes in. So, anyways, that's what I've been working on. If you've been working on some stuff, come on in and tell me all about it. I'd like to know what you've been doing, what you've been trying, what your goals are, what your questions are, and see if we can have a party here on the Stunthangar video hangouts. And I believe the link, I did post a link. Let me double check, see if that link is posted, because no one's joining me so far. And I know that we have quite a bit of our panel is actually in Muncie, Indiana at the Nats. And I wish I was there. Oh man, that was such a blast. That was, I've seen images, I watched Wendy Wanowski videos, and so I've seen the L-pad, but to actually be there, that was really exciting. I highly recommend, I mean, if you do this hobby, you know, why not go to the Nationals, even as a fan, just to see the best of the best compete I'm looking forward to getting back there again. Hopefully, I'll get there again next year. That's what I'm beginning to think. You got to first think about it and then rationalize and plan and scheme on how to get there, right? So that's kind of what my goal is. Looks like Sparky's getting ready to come in here, and I'm really happy about that. Oh, yes, I guess he has to enable his camera. I know he's probably in a hotel, a different setup than what he's normally accustomed to. So, hey, Sparky.
Yeah, hold on. Be there in a minute.
All right, sounds good. Hey, John, how you doing, John?
Pretty good. Yourself, Charles?
Doing good, man. I'm glad you guys came in. I really appreciate it because I was by myself, and now here comes Bob Whitley. That's good. Getting some traffic now. So, did you fly in Classic, John?
No, I crashed my airplane a year or so ago, and I didn't have another airplane to fly. So,
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Which plane was that?
snowboard.
Oh, that was a good-looking Nobler. That was like a Gieske Nobler, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, very. You did a really nice job on that plane. Sorry to hear about that. They all have few. What?
Had the helicopter engine, the OS-32 F.
Yeah, I remember when you guys were running the motor. I remember at your house, you guys had it on the bench and was running the motor. I remember that.
Yeah, very nice setup like that.
Well, I have to check it out. I do see 32Fs on eBay from time to time.
They make two models of that too, Charles. So you got to watch out. There's a range model and an ABC model of that engine.
And which one do you recommend?
ABC.
ABC.
Okay. Very
I
cool.
flew by Classic Continental today.
Oh, great. Great. I actually was listening and kind of watching. I was working on my airplane today, so I was kind of working my plane, but I had it in the background looking up once in a while, and I saw Tom Dixon's flight. I missed your flight, Sparky.
Yeah, well, I was just going to look at the first flight was respectable, and I was in first place. And then the second flight, it went lean, and I got bumped out by 20 points.
Oh, yeah, if your motor goes lean, that's no fun. I've had that happen to me at a contest, and I'm just hanging on, and it just my timing is set up for when it's not going lean, so the maneuvers get all messed up because I'm not used to doing that quickly, that cadence.
I still scored respectable for running lean. I mean, more than anybody else except for the top three guys. I ended up fourth.
Hey, fourth at the Nationals. That's not bad. And especially with you don't fly as often as some other people do,
Yeah, Dixon, let's see, it was John Simpson, who's been flying that airplane for 30 years, and then Tom Dixon, and then Steve Moon, and then me. Then Scott Reynolds was fifth.
Wow. Yeah, some good company.
Sparky, why didn't you waive the flight? I think I've seen the flight and you were just running fast from the get-go.
Wanted to get it over with. Just forget it. Just fly it.
Why?
Why not? Because I just felt like it. It's no big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I sometimes when we remember after the fact of, dang it, I should have taken an attempt.
Yes.
Because we get 3 attempts, but it's like if it doesn't happen to you on a regular basis, it's
Here's
not
the
something
deal
you
with
think about.
Super Tigers. If I would have took an attempt, it would not have cooling off in 2 extra flights, and I wouldn't be able to get it started and overrun. So it just doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay, I understand that. Let me say hi to Bob Whitley. Thank you for coming in, Bob Whitley. I appreciate that.
Yeah, always.
How you doing?
Oh, I just had 2 wonderful weeks of vacation.
Oh, good.
Went out to Manitoba to a military reunion. That was fantastic. And I got a contact for a fellow I'd lost touch with since 2004. Old
Canada has a military?
Pardon me?
Canada has a military?
Yeah. Okay.
Those are some
We have
fighting
the
words
distinct-
there.
We have the distinction of never having lost a war.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, my regiment is over 150 years old now. So we were the first regiment in Canada, actually, for the Army. So anyway, that was great. My wife got to run around in an armored car and hear 155 millimeter live fire artillery for the first time and all that stuff. So it was great. And then we went and buried my dad's ashes in the family plots near there. And then headed off to Winnipeg and flew with Kevin King and Paul Giddle and the guys there. And I had 4 fantastic days flying models and come home with all but one because I gave it away. And yeah, it was terrific. So it's good to be home. But oh, and when I came home, I should have been unpacking, but I just couldn't resist it. Models were in the car anyway, so I headed out to the Field of Dreams and went flying with Paul Jabot for the afternoon.
Very,
But
very cool.
yeah, it was good stuff, and I got some nice loot if you want to see.
Yeah, I want to see your loot.
Yeah, I scored okay.
All right. And Caffeine, thanks for coming in, Caffeine, while he's going to set up to show us what he got here.
Yeah, sure. Hi.
Hi.
I also have some stories to share.
Great,
because,
great.
Yeah, I finally went flying just last Sunday. So yeah, I will share some story after Bob.
All right, cool. And Jonathan Caradas, thank you for coming in. Oh, you got a Dremel contour tool there?
Yeah, I was just wandering through a secondhand store near. There's a barber shop in one of the towns that Paul Giddle had told me I had to stop in and see. The guy's just got hundreds of really nice model airplanes all there in the ceiling, goes up flying regularly. A lot of control line carrier. But anyway, across the street from it was this secondhand store, and they had this tool in mint condition for $15. Couldn't pass it up.
You could not
Wow.
pass that. That's a great deal.
No, that is nice. You can get in tight corners with that thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can use them by hand too, of course. They're just polywogs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very
And
nice.
then one of the guys gave me this half-A combat plane for TD
All right.
and a set of foam cores to build another one with.
Nice.
And then I hit the hobby shop for a few odds and ends. I always look for the 348 blind nuts to clean them
I
out.
thought those pilots were pacifiers.
Pardon me?
I thought the pilots were pacifiers.
Those
I was like, what are you
are
doing
the
pacifiers?
unobtainium-
Oh, they're pilots.
are the unobtainium Williams Brothers pilots. And so Dennis Sadak down there just gave them to me. And then the absolute marvel for me is all of that. Just about all of that is contest balsa. There's a few sheets in 8 pound, but the rest are low 7s and down. So the best
Very
of them
nice.
is about 5.2. But so that and the stash that I'd gotten before, I guess I'm okay to build the next 3 or 4 real stunt planes.
Very nice. So you like to get the 348 blind nuts. I've never used those. What's the advantage of those?
They're the perfect size for a Cox engine. The 256s are a bit small, and they're a little bit heavier for, landing gear if you're figuring out using a profile or something.
Huh.
So, but the screws are readily available, but the blind nuts haven't been produced in probably decades.
Yeah,
So
I
I've got
remember
probably
you-
the nation's.
Hey, that's a good.
I've probably got all of Canada's stash of them now.
Very, very good.
Oh, and Sparky, thanks so much for that really beautiful photography of the awards and whatnot of the dinner. I just literally finished watching the first part of that. And
I'll be uploading some more of the video. The live stream was absolute shit.
yeah, I
I don't know
noticed. So
if
I kind
it's
of quit it. And yeah, the video is fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah,
Except
I
Win Paul was wrong on one thing. He said the US is the only place that has appearance points. There's this little country called Canada that has them also.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
I ended up getting this book. Let me show you this book.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I bought it also. I've got Ken bringing him up from there. He went down to compete.
This book
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Wow, it looks great.
I mean, there's so many color pictures in this thing, you can't believe it.
Look at that.
And I told you, let's see here. 7. Pull up the page here. That's 06. Here's 07. Whose airplane is that?
Oh, wow. There you go, Sparky. You're famous now.
My dad's
Nice.
in there. I'd have to look for him, but I saw a picture of him. There's my airplane there.
Oh, very nice.
Wow.
Plane of the year for 07.
Yeah, I think that book was well worth the wait. I was on the waiting list for at least 3 years for it.
I wasn't going to buy it, and I said, well, you know, it's $200. Get 2 volumes. You know, get 2 of these 2
Yeah.
volumes. And,
You know, for that labor of love, it's well worth it.
and it comes in a box like this.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
So
Flip cover. Cool.
I wasn't going to buy it, but they took credit cards as well. I'll put it on a credit card. It's $200, but this thing is so heavy.
Weighs about 50 pounds.
It's so
Oh yeah, I
heavy.
wouldn't have wanted to ship it here. It would have cost me $200 for shipping. So it worked out great with Ken going down, and I was going to have Chris Cox get it for me, and then Ken's a lot closer. He lives here, and got some real sad news, shocking news the other day about Chris. He ended up with a heart attack, and was in the hospital getting stents and whatnot down in Muncie.
Wow.
I heard they said that if he would have been in Canada, he might have died with you guys' healthcare system.
Actually, I don't believe that in a second, Sparky, because I had it done myself with 4 stints, and it was the most fantastic care you could hope for and didn't cost me a penny. In fact, they paid my wife's parking.
Wow, it's fantastic.
So I would have to
be
be with you to the bitter end on that.
I'm just passing on what was told to me.
Yeah, well, it's a pile of bullshit is what was told to you.
Yeah.
All right, very
That
good.
happened. Yeah. So anyway, it's sad to hear about Chris, but you know, my experience with what he went through is no big deal. You know, you get screwed around by the government for 6 months to get your pilot license back, but the care was terrific, the rehab and everything, so it was no problem. So they fight for me all the way with the heart specialist for my pilot license every year. So I'm real happy with it.
Very good. I'm glad you're doing all right too, Bob. That's good news. Let me see here. I think Tryan came. Well, Caffeine has something he wants to share with us. And hi, Tryan. Thanks for coming in, Tryan. And hi, Lynn Burrell.
Hey guys.
And
Hey,
Caffeine, it's your show. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Hi. I'm doing really great. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah. Since the past few weeks, I've been really busy with work, so I didn't fly or build that much. But luckily, I've got some free time on last Sunday, so I flew my plane, my Factor. It was together with my flying buddy, who also did his maiden for his Fencerized twister. So you know, I've been sharing a lot about my problem with the fast lap times on my
Yes.
Factor, and then I've got some suggestion from fellow members on Stunthangar that yes, try to use smaller venturi or use the pantyhose and so on and so forth. And then what I did last Sunday was I put the stock tube muffler back on into my Enya, because previously I had the tongue muffler, and yeah, it produced so much power that that cost like 4.6 second per laps, which was too fast for me to perform all the maneuvers really well. So I tried putting back the stock tube muffler, and then I also add some exhaust deflector uh, onto the muffler. Yeah, well, it actually turned out working really good. You know, it drops some power. It slows down my lap times. I did 3 flights. Like the first 2 flights, I still had like full length of exhaust deflector. I got like 5.6, 5.7, 5.8 seconds per laps, which was too slow for me, because when I was trying to do the wing over, I kind of lost the tension. But on my third flight, I tried to cut the exhaust deflector by I shortened it by like 1 inch, and it suddenly made some improvement. You know, I could go into higher RPM, launch RPM, like 150 more RPM on the
Right.
ground, and you know, it performed the wing over way better, but it's still not the output that I was hoping for. But yeah, you know, I think putting back that stock tube muffler is a good is a good is a good decision. It puts me into a good ballpark, because you know, I think I can just, if I need more power, I can try to shorten the deflector like 1 more inch, and see what it will make a difference. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really sure that yeah, I will get my effector trim out really well. So yeah, finally.
Just a little excited about that, right?
Yeah.
I totally understand that, man. When you finally make an adjustment and it flies better or runs better, it's exciting. I totally feel you on that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. Because yeah, I forgot to mention, I guess, on my third flight, when I shortened the exhaust deflector, I got it was in between 5.3, 5.4, and sometimes it gets like 5.5. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to shorten it more, or it's the perfect. I will fly some more to see and make the final decision on that. So, but putting back that stock muffler, whether with the deflector on or off, it's going to be putting me in a good ballpark to fly nicely in. Yeah, to fly let's say in 5 second, 5.1, 5.2 zone. So yeah, I'm
That'd
good.
be good. Yeah, you gotta find what
Yeah.
you like. That is good news. I'm happy
Yes.
for you.
Yeah, I actually have some video
All right.
to show, I guess.
See that.
Screen.
And Stuart, thanks for coming in, Stuart. Appreciate it.
All right.
And Tryon, you see those pictures I sent you?
I'm gonna check them out. I didn't see them. I didn't notice that you sent me.
It's on your phone. So what is this, caffeine?
Do you see
Yeah.
see my screen now?
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
an
this is-
airplane.
Yep. This is
That's a nice looking plane.
Yeah, it's the Fenterized twister that my flying buddy did. So he did his maiden, and yeah, luckily it went all good on last Sunday for him, because on some occasion, like yeah, I helped him a lot with when he was having his maiden, and normally he crashed on his maiden. So I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to show you his flying. Yeah, it's his twister. Can you hear the sound?
Yeah, I hear it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually we went into a camping ground, so it's not the flying field at the top I used to fly, because it's closer to his place, this camping ground. And yeah, it's quite challenging to fly there because of the trees, you know, because of the trees. And it kind of makes you dizzy because it's sometimes close to phobic.
Wah, banyak
Yeah.
copot.
Yeah, and then sometimes, and there's no windsock, so it's kind of
Masih
hard
bagus landingnya, Pak.
to judge where to aim about the wind direction. So yeah.
Caffeine, on the picture you showed there, the plans, there was the rear exhaust engine. What's that going into?
1,
I
2,
think it's
3,
I guess it
4,
was
5.
retro discovery. He told me he was going he's building something else for that engine. Yeah, I think. And this is I'm going to show you. Yeah, this is my flight. This is with the stock muffler and with the exhaust deflector. It sounded really silent, compared to when I was having the stock muffler.
Yeah, Finn, listen to the motor when you're flying right now.
Yeah.
Those sags on the top.
Mm-hmm.
You hear slowing down on top. It's too lean. So
Is
what
it?
you want to do, you want to run it a little bit slower than that, and put the prop with a little bit more pitch.
Okay. Okay. Well,
if you're sagging, is not pulling, is not braking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So listen to that. That's like, in general, you don't want to mess too much with the needle valve. The motor has a certain RPM where it's very happy, right? It's a little bit on the rich side. It's going to be a little bit on the rich side. So when the ground is the motor is going to sound like it's in between 2-cycle and 4-cycle. It's mostly 4-cycle, but may bleep once in a while in a 2-cycle, right? That's about the sweet spot for the motor. And after that, if the plane flies too fast, then use a lower pitch prop. If it flies too slow,
Lagi.
use a prop with more pitch. That's how you adjust the speed, not by needling the motor. The motor has a very narrow band in which it likes to stay, and you have to keep it there. If you don't keep the motor there, it's going to be off nominal.
Yep. Well, what I did when I was setting the engine on the ground, it was for my engine, for that engine, I don't know, I somehow I have to every start I have to like open it up a bit, because if it's on the lean side, it's not going to start. So I normally like open it up a bit by 1 or 2 clicks, and then hearing the sound, and then I try to lean it out to close it a bit until the engine sound like changing into 2 cycling, and then I try to tilt the nose up and see if the RPM is going up or going down. If it's going up, I stop there, but if it's going down, I back off a bit the needle. So when I tilt the nose up, it gains more RPM. So that's what I did.
Yeah. Well, that's a good start.
All right, thank you, Sparky. Hey, good luck, John and Sparky, on your flying.
Yeah.
Good luck.
So Caffeine, that's a good start, right? That's a good start. But then as you fly, they're gonna say, it's still kind of lean, right? So next time when you start it, you open it up, just bring it down a little bit more, right?
Okay, all right.
So as you listen to the motor, just use your ears, right? You listen to the motor, it's like, oh, that's the spot where I want it.
Yep.
Your ears are gonna tell you a lot. You don't even need a tach or something like that. You can max out the RPM and then you know, open it up, give it let it richer, like that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So now you know that the spot where the engine is really happy and runs good, right?
Yep.
Then
Sure.
you keep it in the spot at all times. You never change that. If you wanna fly faster, just change the prop. More pitch.
Sure.
More pitch. Right.
You wanna fly slower?
I agree.
Again, change the pitch again. Now,
All right.
another thing to keep in mind, if you do your loops, right? If the motor goes in 2 cycles and stays there, right? Okay, it doesn't go like 2 down to 4, 2 on the top, 4 on the bottom, 2 on the top. You should hear that. But if it stays in 2 cycles all the time, that means your prop is too small in diameter.
Yeah. Yep. Sure.
Get a bigger prop, right?
Yep.
So you basically you keep the motor in a narrow range where it's very happy, right? And use the props to tune it to the plane and the motor.
Exactly.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep.
So if it goes 2 cycles in maneuvers and stays there, it's also called as a runaway. Okay.
Yep.
That's right.
The plane will start to do first loop kind of slower, then faster and faster and faster. It gets it whips up. It just because the motor is not cycling through. But that's because the prop is too small. The motor
It's
heats up and
not
it doesn't.
loaded enough.
Okay. If the prop is too big, you're gonna notice something different. The motor is gonna stay in 4 cycle all the time. Will now break in a 2 cycle. Then you lower the diameter. So keep the engine in the range that's it's supposed to be where the engine should run. You use different props to tune it to the plane. Now they're different planes, right? Some with a big fat airfoil, right? You might need more pitch to pull them through, right? Some with skinny airfoil might have less pitch, right? So that's why you cannot have one engine, one prop for every single plane that's out there.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep. That makes sense.
Excellent advice. Yeah, this
Thank you, Troy.
He's actually spot on. You need to watch that part over and over again if you didn't understand it and ask more and more questions. Hey, Lynn Burrell, thanks for coming in, Lynn. I appreciate seeing you again.
Yes, Charles, good to see you too.
And let me see here. John Miller came in. Hey, John, how you doing?
Doing good.
So I think Tryon, I know you is really helping caffeine, but you're next. What's happening with you?
Well, I had my buddy on a longer session this past Sunday. We got a lot of it done. So we made the push rods.
Make it big here 1 second. Alrighty. Okay, just 1 second. Where's my mouse at? Here it is. Okay, all right, here we go. Now you're big.
So we made push rods. We kind of mock this control horn to see where it's going to fall in. Make sure our push rod is correct length or thereabouts, because you can always screw it in and screw it out.
Right.
To fine tune it. We finished this side of the wing. We sheet everything and we put some blocks over here. This is for the landing gear block, but the idea is that when you cover it, right, you want to have something to support this edge inside where the landing gear wire is going to fall in.
Right.
So let me see. Different end. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we added these pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is finished. This is finished. All we have to do now is just cover the top of the wing, and with that we're gonna be wing is finished basically.
So which one's your up lead out? The first lead out or the one behind? The one in the back is up.
Really doesn't matter to me, but I think up is gonna be on the. Let's see.
On the back.
Back is up.
Okay.
Back is up.
I like how it feels to have the up line on the leading lead out. Myself personally, it's my own personal preference.
Yeah. I think the lines go to such a long extent, even if they stay like that, because your handle, it's like, let's say this is the handle position and this is at the plane, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And you might feel like when you pull, they want to rotate the plane or something like that. It's such a long distance, it's negligible. It really doesn't matter which way you want to do it. But the only difference is that then you're going to have the push rod on the outboard of the plane or the inboard.
Right. Right.
That's the only difference.
And it
So-
feels different when I fly it. Like if I'm leading it with the first lead out. I don't know. It's just a personal preference.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. But that's cool though.
Yeah.
Very, very good work.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a tremendous job. He's very patient. I'm just completely surprised by it. I'm just taken by it. I mean, he is very. I mean, it's like any kid, like he wants to be a little bit more impatient and stuff like that. But I constantly kind of push him to do correct job first time, every time.
Lucky guy.
And
Lucky
have
kid.
put some pride in his project, because this is going to be done, is going to be about just as good as if I was making it, basically.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
So-
he's very fortunate to have you.
So it's going to be a clean job. It's going to be rock solid, good controls. Everything is secured in there. No shenanigans. So you should have a rock solid flying plane from day one that's going to last him for days on end.
Yeah,
And we got the motor for it too.
very good.
It's a
What
great
motor's
thing
that?
when you can teach somebody, I'm sorry, it's a great thing when you can teach somebody good habits right from the start.
Yes.
It takes a lot of the garbage out of this where they have to relearn everything if they learn bad habits right from the start. So that's great, Tryon. Great work.
That
Yeah.
is- that's
And I'm gonna be his flight trainer too. So from day one, I'm gonna teach him, like, okay, this is what you do, boom, 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 step by step. I'm gonna teach him how to. He's probably gonna move up so fast. It's not. I mean, just gonna be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's because the plane's gonna be a good flying plane, and he has you as his teacher. So yeah, he has it going for him. Let me see here. Next was I think it was Jonathan Karadas. Hey Jonathan, how you doing?
Yeah, good. I've had it muted because, as usual, it's a bit noisy around here at the moment with school holidays.
And that's good. You have a home, man. That is great to have a home, a family, and
Yeah,
that is
Yeah,
that is all good.
they keep me young and wear me out and turn me grey, I tell you. It's good to see Bob back. I must salute the Commonwealth there, Bob. How you going?
Good to see you, John.
I must look up in my uncle's book with the airbase. I was talking about that to my wife the other day, and she said, "Oh, get his book out and dig it out, see which airbase he was flying the Harvards in over there in Canada when he was doing his basic."
Be
The lead up.
interesting at some of the airports I might have flown at over the years.
Yeah, I'll find out for you.
Something else you might want to look up, John, is do a Google search for 1st Regiment Royal Canadian Horse Artillery. Everyone
Yes.
knows Royal Canadian Mounted Police. They actually grew out of the artillery.
Good Lord.
And
is,
I was
is it true?
Regiment A Battery, so the most senior arm of the Canadian Armed Forces. So we just had our big reunion this first one in 5 years because of COVID.
Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, well, COVID's mucked up a lot of things, of course. And we've all got a lot older in those few years. Now, listen, is it true that the Canadian Mounties always get their man?
I don't know about that. What I've heard is
Always
they
laugh.
a woman.
Yeah.
No, they do have their priorities, I guess.
Yeah.
Although that's interesting since a lot of them now are women.
Yes. This is what I've been mucking around with. Amongst other things, I've decided I'm going to have a crack at making some props. So I don't know what I'm doing. It's just an experiment, really, to fill in a bit of time while I'm waiting for this hip to heal and the weather to improve. But I thought I'd have a go at chopping some out myself. I usually get them from Brodak or somewhere and hook them over, but by the time you add your freight to stuff now, it's costing quite a bit. So I thought, well, if I can figure out a way of making some of the stuff myself and modifying it. And,
that's a good point. What kind of wood is that? What kind of wood is that?
It's a New Zealand native of some kind, I believe. Somebody said the other day it might be what we call tawa, which is quite a hard, although it looks like a soft wood, it's actually quite a hard wood. And it's just got a straight grain in it. But I'll tell you what, I won't be standing in front of it or parallel to the prop when I start the motor. I'll be well behind it.
Actually, I've seen one of your countrymen building stuff with that. Past Make is a website that he does a lot of incredible woodwork and metalwork.
Who's the guy?
Task Makes is what the what the YouTube site is.
Okay. Yeah, the name doesn't
really interesting. And beautiful, the stuff he's done. But I know he's worked with that wood. I think he used it on the structural members of this gorgeous kayak that he made.
If you want to learn how to make those props, I used to make them myself too when I was in Romania. It's not hard to make, and it's just a certain technique to it. It's very simple, and I'm sure you can do it.
Yeah, well,
but I have a lot of tips for you if you want to.
I'll tell you what, I might take up on that because I think I can. It's like anything, you start getting into it and you discover there's more about this stuff than you realized. And, you know, as you learn, you open up other questions and you think to yourself, well,
yeah,
how deep do you want to go down this rabbit hole, you know?
Right.
Absolutely.
But, I'll keep, I'll be in touch with you because once I've made this and see how it goes, if it goes right, it'll encourage me. If it goes wrong, I'll probably just walk away, leave it for something else.
It's a matter of technique. It's not, it's if you have the proper technique and the tools are already, very easy to use. I tell you, you can make it. If you try the first time and with no technique and no knowledge, yeah, you're gonna fail. And obviously it's gonna discourage you. But if you have the tools, then it becomes easy.
Yeah, it looks good. What are you using to cut the prop? What are you using, the number 26 blade, or what are you using?
Well, you mean the tools to tool it, to cut it?
Yeah.
What I'm using so far is I drew it out on the flat piece of wood, the silhouette, if you like. You can kind of see where
I see it.
around. That's the back of it at the moment. And then I did saw cuts on an angle on the pitch and just tapering it out towards the tip. And then I removed that just by chipping it out. And then I started to sand using a rough round metal file and a wood, some sandpaper glued to a flat piece of wood, like what would you call it? Like we call them topsy sticks over here, like an ice cream stick, if you like, an ice block stick.
Right. And
I'm just working it away like that. And on the back side, I'm just filing it with, or cutting it off with some big pieces of wood that I have sandpaper glued to them. And I just use it like a wood rasp, really, I guess. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just taking my time, and I'll just see how it goes. I mean, if it works, and I'm sure it'll rotate. Obviously, but how well?
It looks good. I thought it was a zinger prop. I thought you was working on a zinger prop. It looks good.
Are you checking it with a pitch gauge all along as you go, John? Or
say again, Bob?
Are you using a pitch gauge to check it, both blades, as you go along?
No, I haven't got a prop pitch gauge, but that's another challenge. I've got pictures of how to make one, because there's stuff on Stunthangar about that. And I'm going to make myself one. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm just going to actually make my own patterns, if you like, and just make sure that I measure accurately and make sure I get the pitch the same along the propeller at various intervals. It's quite an aggressive prop. I would say it's about a 6 or a 7, just eyeballing it. But I'll just see how I go. And so far, I've put probably close to an hour and a half into it. Mind you, you get quicker, don't you, as you get better. So that's another thing you've got to consider, or I got to consider, is, you know, how much time do I want to spend on it?
You know, just off the top of my head, what I thought about it before too, making props, just haven't done it. But I wonder about, for a quickie gauge comparison, if you just took some plasticine, you know, modeling clay, and pressed it into it, and then sliced it into sections, and just checked the other blade with the one that you've pressed.
Oh, right.
Make it basically templates.
Yeah, could do. Yeah, could do. And of course, it's a sine wave. If you trace out one rotation of the prop from the top around, it goes around and then down and back up.
Right.
It's a sine wave, isn't it? So she comes forward. If it's, say, a 7 pitch, it'll come forward 7 inches.
That's
in
right.
that one rotation.
Mhm.
That's
So
right.
I can work backwards from that. I could draw that out and work backwards to get my pitch at various stages too. You could make them out of cardboard or something, lay the thing flat like I'm doing here in front of you on the table. You can't see it, but I kind of got an idea in my head how to do it, maybe without a pitch gauge. But anyway, that's
good.
what I mean by opening up all these rabbit holes, you know.
That's
As you get
okay.
Do you know
started.
how to graphically calculate the pitch on a prop?
Not yet. I haven't quite made that connection yet. No.
Because
How do you do
it's
it?
very easy, and you can do it with any propeller or any pitch, and you can make your own
Okay.
props like that.
Can
So
you
the
explain
idea, the pitch is connected to the radius of your diameter, right? 2 pi
Right.
r gives you a full circulation, right? And the pitch goes up, right, by 1. So it's like this, right? So this is your pitch.
Yep.
This is your 2 pi r, right?
Yep.
Okay. So if you reference this angle to the radius, which is with your blade diameter, right? Blade
it up there.
radius, it's going to give you some height over here. So you can calculate the highest pitch over the 2 pi.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's step 1. Step 2 is this.
Hold that up again. Right, got a photo of that. Yep.
Okay. So now this is step 2. Say you have so you have your height here and you have the radius here, right?
Yep.
Okay. And so this is the radius of 2 radiuses going to be the diameter of your propeller. So we're looking at half of one blade here, right?
Yes.
So if you want to calculate the angle on each station on your blade, what you do, let's say you want to calculate the angle at this position, right? All you
Yes.
have to do is just draw a line like that,
Sure.
and that's the angle.
Okay.
So if you
I got it.
this drives the pitch. So you calculate the angle. Now, depending on your, because you have a certain shape for the blade, let's say it's like this, right? So let's say this is your blade, right?
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Now on this station here, okay, the blade is this wide, right?
Right.
So if you can take that distance over there, you know exactly how much it goes up, right? So you know
Okay.
the difference in height from here to here.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yep.
Now
Yeah.
you establish the shape from the top, and then you can find out what the shape is from the other direction, right?
Yes.
It's like this. But if you look here,
Yeah.
the height over here, the height over here, it's actually this height, the width of the blade and the angle. So that's how tall it's gonna be over there. So now that's how you make your template for here. That's how you make the template for the top view, right? Make sense?
Yeah,
Makes sense.
So now,
yeah. I'll have to think
Now-
that through, but I think I've got it. Yeah.
yeah. Now the way when you make the prop itself, you need to make yourself a like a little prop making stand. Let me show you that quickly. Let me find another piece of paper I can draw. Okay. All right, here you go. Okay. So take a piece of wood, something that you can put in a vise, right?
Yes.
Okay. Draw a hole in here. And have a knot with a butterfly knot, something like that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And put a block over here on the backside. So the prop is wants to rotate, but it's going to hit the block here. It's going to stop it from rotating. So as you file on it or you put some pressure on it, it's going to have a stop, right?
Right.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And the first step that you do when you make your prop, what you do, you take your block of wood, you drill your hole. That's your center hole in your prop, right?
Right.
And you draw a line like this. You follow me?
Center line. Yep.
Okay. Now you have your template for your blade, whatever the shape of it is, right?
Yes.
On your template, you put a little tick mark.
Yep.
So now you take your template, you put it on a block of wood with a pin, you align your tick mark with a line, okay?
Yep.
And you draw your first side, right?
Yes.
You rotate the template on the opposite side. Again, you align the tick mark with the other side.
Yep.
And now you have a perfectly symmetric figure,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
All right. Now you are ready to go to the top view and do this shape.
Yeah.
If you have a belt sander with a disc or something like that, a drum sander with a little finger like that goes up and down with a sanding disc,
Yeah.
something like that.
That'd be great. Yeah, I haven't.
Those are
Yeah.
super, okay?
Yeah.
All right. And after you do this, now you go to the side view. And again, remember, you calculate your side view.
Yes. Yes. Using that
From here.
formula.
You know
Yeah, right.
exactly what your shape is, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to make it easy for yourself, make a flat bottom or something like that and just curve the top.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of, yeah, what I've done here. See, I've got,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ideally, you probably want to curve both of them, but I think if you have a
Yeah.
flat bottom and you curve the top, it's just as good. I don't think it's any
Yeah.
problem.
I
Okay.
just did that to make it simple first time round.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
again, you
flatten.
take your template, you get your template, but here's the trick, okay? Once you done with the top view, put a pin, balance the prop. One step at a time, balance the prop. Next step, balance the prop. So every
Yeah.
time you do that, you balance the prop every single time as you progress.
As you're
right?
removing material.
Exactly. So now you have the top view, you have the side view. Now you're ready to stuff it in here, right? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what you do in the top view, you can take and just draw a line, let's say 4 or 5 millimeters inside the leading edge,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And now you can sharpen up from here like that.
Yes, that's
until you
right.
touch
Yes,
that.
that's
So
exactly
you have
what
the
I did.
bottom and that, right?
Yep.
And now you go from the front view of the prop after that.
Yeah.
And you
round
draw your line here like that.
Yep.
And now you sharpen from the bottom to there, right?
Yes.
Make sense?
Yep.
And as long as you keep your templates, you can have identical props, one step at a time. And the last thing, so basically you end up with this shape, right? This is going to be your prop, something like that. That makes sense?
Yes.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So now all you have to do is just round off. Now, you know what we used to use for that? Stupid easy. We have broken glass. Some pieces
Broken
of
glass.
exactly broken glass.
It's called sandpaper.
Right? I'm sorry?
Not called sandpaper.
We use broken glass, okay, because the broken glass had a shape to it like that. We just found they had the shape in it. And you can just grab by your hand and just like shink.
Broken glass. Okay. So
Yeah.
you've got that
So you go
cutting
like
edge
that,
and
exactly.
you can draw it across. Well, that
And the last
answers
thing they
my
should do is just
question
sand it off a
because,
little bit.
yeah, I was thinking, what the hell have I got that I can actually make a scraper out of that will remove material from inside the flat? And it's
Yeah.
that. Thank you. I'm with you. Yeah, got it.
That's how you make wooden props.
Oh, well, you've taught me a hell of a lot. Thank you.
You know, just
Wow.
to add into there, Trey, we used to use that broken glass to refinish old World War II rifle stocks. They're all beat up or whatever and that, and we just use that piece of glass like that, and just scrape it down, get to fresh wood, easy sand, restain it, redo it, and it looked like a brand new stock.
In cabinet work, we use the scrapers just about as much as sandpaper.
There you go.
Wow.
That's just a general curved one, but I have several different ones. But
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
The trick is putting the burr on the edge of it. That takes
Yeah.
a bit of art developing that, but I have this tool for that. And I also use it to burnish down wood, doing miters or something. I'll roll the corners into each other.
So what's the section of that? What's the section of that, Bob?
Don't know if it's showing up there or not. There you go. Sort of a bit of a.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, what you can also use, I've used in the past, is a hardened tool steel, like an extension for a really good socket driver set, or screwdrivers or something like that. Screwdrivers generally have a softer shank though, but a hardened socket extension also.
What about a machine hacksaw blade, something like that, dragged on its vertical position?
To make a scraper out of it, it would probably work quite well.
Yeah, and once again, it's just as
but rolling the edge, you want a bit of a radius to it, so you can push it in. You push it as you go, and you force out a burr of metal, and that's what does the scraping.
Yes, that's the cutting edge. Yeah, you want that. You want that rough edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've learned a heck of a lot today.
Same here.
Yes,
Marcel Legrand calls our show the Stunt School, and for a very good reason. Matter of fact, Marcel Legrand says, "Hi, Charles, and everyone at Stunt School. I hope all is well." See, Stunt School.
It was out.
And Mark Lumen says, "Got you like." Now, Mark Lumen is actually a member of our YouTube channel. He supports us with a monthly donation. Thank you, Mark. And he says, "Got you like, having some complications from my back surgery. Just watching tonight. I hope you feel better real soon, Mark." And then Mark goes on to say, "Many do not know, but Tryan made a lot of props for Wendy." Yeah, I remember watching Wendy props. I remember you sent a jig to Wendy, and he made the carbon fiber props out of your jig. And I imagine Lynn Burrell owns that right now. Is that right, Lynn?
I gave it to George Waters. He wanted to make props.
Okay.
So he now has it.
All right. Yeah, I've seen the video.
I decided I was not going to make any. I didn't want to get into the carbon fiber thing. I thought I might, and then I decided not to. So I'm going to show the prop jig.
I'm going to show something to make Jonathan drool a little bit.
Not a pork chop.
Okay, there's my there's an oscillating edge sander,
right?
And there's an oscillating spindle sander.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
You can make your props in minutes then.
Wow.
Yeah, they're nice tools to have.
Very nice.
You get spoiled.
I bet. What happened to Lynn Burrell? Where'd Lynn go?
Bob, I should come to your place and do a demonstration how to make a prop one night.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. When I'd suggest you do that is the middle of August, because we're having our Prairie Fire contest then.
There you go.
Come
Bob,
on
where
up.
are you from?
More the merrier.
Huh?
Come on up. Join us. The more the merrier.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
oh,
Let me get
all,
back.
all I'll have to do just to catch a flight to Canada, right?
No big deal.
Hey, I'm
The airport
thinking-
a couple of miles away.
I'm thinking about it myself.
Hey, Bob, you
Yo.
don't have to set fire to a whole forest though, all right?
No, they're comfortable ways away. We've had a lot of rain now, actually.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So
Thank heavens for that.
Yes.
You know how I learned to make props? Back in the country in 1997 in Romania, there were no props on the market. So you either make them yourself or you have none.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, the motors would come with just one prop. That's it. And it was one of the big hunk of plastic they look almost like a Reva prop. Big plastic and soft plastic. Nasty props anyways. So
Huh.
we learned to make the wood props after that. And we make our own pitch, just want a little bit more pitch, a little bit less pitch. We calculate it and just make a profile for it and run with it and make our own props.
well, you come up here and make them then, because I've got lots of maple for us to use up.
Very cool. Let me welcome Philip Bailey. Hey, Phil, how you doing?
Doing great. How about y'all?
Doing good. I've been listening to you on the live streams. I've hear your
Lord.
voice.
Yeah,
Hear your
I'm
voice.
telling you, it's been some crazy stuff.
I bet.
Sparky today flew better than he'll let on. He's flying classic and he had a tough field. I mean, a tough field.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who all. Let me see if I can remember how much I can remember. John Simpson was first. Tom Dixon was second. Steve Moon was third, I think. And Sparky was fourth. But I mean, it was a battle all day long. Mark Gerber flew the Bearcat, and he looked good. He looked good. He didn't place, but he looked good. The old boy did himself proud. That Bearcat's flying well.
Good. Good.
Very good.
Steve Moon though had a Lark, Ed Southwick Lark. Get this, a Tiger 60 in the front of it.
Holy smokes.
I have a 46 in the front of mine. He's got a 60 in the front of his.
Yeah.
What
Sucker
length
had some.
lines?
Do
What
what?
length lines would that be on?
I think it was on 63s. I didn't ask, but it didn't look.
Good
They didn't look any
Lord.
longer than anybody else's. But
Really?
the thing was running. It was blubbering so much it come over the top. It just sounded like whoa. I mean, it never broke into a strong two. It just
No.
lumbered, but
No.
it stayed out there the whole time. I mean, a 60 and that's airplane. Come on,
Wow.
guys.
Wow.
Good
Yeah.
gracious, that thing was beautiful. I mean, it sounded like a Ferrari in a field of Volkswagens. It was amazing.
Nice. Let me get back to Lynn. We lost you, Lynn. I'm glad you're back. And I wanted
My connection went bad. We got
No
it
problem.
fixed.
I wanted to give you a chance to talk about what you've been up to. What's been going on with you?
Not a lot, not a heck of a lot. Been doing some flying. That's about all. Flying planes.
What planes you've been flying?
Flying my old Shark Attack, which is something like an Impact, and flying my Stiletto. They've been
Very
flying.
good.
What I'm doing is I'm going through all my airplanes this summer that I've built that are hopefully of the best quality or of the bunch, and I'm trying to pick 2 or 3 which are to determine which ones are the best of the bunch. Oh, I guess I lost my connection again.
Oh, you're still there. Luke.
No, you're still
Hey,
there.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, Len, Kevin King said to say hi to you and tell you that if you ever want to get rid of your windy airplane, he's the guy. Since he's built
No.
three of them.
No.
That's
coming to North Carolina.
I don't think that'll be happening, guys.
I told him that.
Probably,
I didn't think so either.
probably not going to be happening. That airplane.
Yeah, I'm a realist, not a dreamer.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that airplane's an outstanding flying airplane, and I'd be surprised if I have anything that flies as good as it. I actually flew it a couple of weeks ago and it flies really, really well.
Now, what do you like about this Shark Attack? What do you like about it?
My airplane or Wendy's airplane?
Oh, I thought you were talking about your Shark Attack. I'm sorry. You talking about Wendy's airplane?
Wendy's airplane, yeah, it flies very, very well. I was
Well,
saying, like I was saying, Charles, it flies better probably than anything I have.
Now, what do you like about it? What after flying that you
grooves.
realize it just grooves? Okay.
It just grooves. I mean, it goes where you put it. You put it somewhere and it goes there. Like some of my airplanes, I would say I'm better than my airplanes, but that one there is far better than me.
Now that's the
That's why I
one.
like
See,
it.
if you have a plane like that in your arsenal, you can always move up and improve your
Most
flying.
definitely. Most definitely. When you're trying to fly dogs and make them fly well, you're basically wasting time because
Exactly.
you know what?
You're
They
just
don't
fighting
do
it.
what, yeah, all you're doing is fighting with a piece of junk, and it's like, no, get rid of that and move on to something that flies good because you're just beating yourself.
I'll
Yeah.
quit
So that's
knocking
why
my
I'm sort of
airplanes.
going through my models and sort of, I'm gonna pick what I feel to be my 4 best models, and I'm gonna fly them and a lot. That's the plan.
Yeah, Kevin
Good
built
on ya.
3 of Wendy's exactly as per Wendy's back many years ago. Did the Spitfire, the Tsunami, and the Cardinal, and they're all just gorgeous airplanes. He had his spit out a couple of years ago, and his flying ability isn't up to the airplanes anywhere near that yet. He's still learning the pattern, but he's getting pretty darn good though. But he'll go out and fly them, to the limits of what he knows. But they're just stunning airplanes. Don't think he flew the Spit, but the Cardinal and the Tsunami, Bruce Perry flew them and wrung them out and said, wow, they're fantastic airplanes.
Wow.
Len, what I have to say about that, when you go practice with your best planes, obviously, all the pattern that we fly has certain elements to it, right? We have corners,
Definitely.
we have angles, we have rounds and stuff like that.
Yep,
So
for sure.
pick out of your pattern whatever you're worst at. Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Most
maybe you want to work on a corner. So just fly squares, inside square, outside squares, and triangles and hourglass. That's
over
it.
and over
Or
and
just
over.
fly just
Exactly.
inside squares and outside squares, and that's it. It's very, very focused, very, very concentrated on just one thing.
And flying the whole pattern at times isn't necessarily the ticket.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Well, it can be from time to time. I mean, it's good to fly patterns, but it's also good to concentrate on parts of the pattern.
Yeah, I think if that's what I'm doing. I'm just concentrating on little pieces on my pattern. Last time I went out flying, I was practicing my reverse wing over pullouts.
Right.
I was trying to get them nice and clean and just hard. And actually, feel was there.
Consistency is everything. This is what I struggle with mostly is I can fly good reverse. I can fly any maneuver in the pattern and fly it well, but I can't tie it together over and over and over and over. That's where I get into trouble. Like
Now,
I'll fly I'll fly a decent pattern, but then I'll bugger 2 maneuvers, and it's
But
like,
no, if as
well,
you
that would have
get
been
your
a really good score, but I had 2 bad maneuvers,
well, as you get your elements dialed in, right? So now you know the plane. Boom, you turn, and you know that if you have to do that and you turn nicely, right? So you know your motion, and you become more and more precise about that. They just ting 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 ting, and the plane is just turning 90 degrees exactly, right? Or for the triangles, maybe a little bit longer, right? Or maybe you want to practice on what I'm working on right now is visualizing, right? So I'm more of a spectator. Like when I fly, it's like you have a pencil in your hand and you want to draw a circle with it, but I'm drawing with my plane, right?
Right.
So I'm not really paying much attention to the plane. I'm paying attention to where I want to put the plane on, right? And I can go in the same spot over and over again, just by visualizing.
Something I will say I
can do this all day long. Yeah.
The one thing I've found is that I'm flying airplanes that I flew 6 or 7 years ago very consistently. They now don't fly the same because it's not that they don't fly the same. I don't fly the same.
That's right.
I fly different now than I did. Like I don't like the handle adjustment I had 5 years ago. I
Yeah.
go and fly with that handle adjustment now, and it's like it's way off. It's like, no, I can't.
Yeah,
fly
just
with
retune
that.
it. Yeah, retune the
Yeah,
handle.
because I'm spending a lot of time retuning these airplanes that I used to fly, and now they fly better than they flew then. So that's the good thing.
That is good. That is good.
Well, you
I mean,
also know how
I'm
to
flying
tune them better.
I'm flying airplanes that I won with at Brodax in various events and stuff. And now 5 or 6 years later, I can trim them and make those airplanes fly better than they did then.
Right.
So that's
I believe you.
I'm having a lot of fun with it.
That
I
is
got
good.
Charles,
a story about Friday morning, my last before I left Winnipeg. It was kind of a damp, wet morning. It had been raining and the grass was a bit wet. And my knee's really been acting up on me. My right knee, I got a brace on it. I don't know what's wrong with it yet. Anyway, I slipped on the grass a bit. My knee gave out. And there I was, flat on my back. That was just as I was coming over a wing over.
Whoa.
In the old days, I probably would have panicked, like old days being 2 weeks ago. And I just did 2 or 3 loops overhead loops until I was able to get back on my feet and carried on with the flight. So I had a good chuckle about it. And I think Kevin caught the video. He might have. I'm waiting for get a copy. Maybe if it shows up, I'll post it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Jonathan, you're trying to get my attention, Jonathan? Go ahead.
well, yeah, I was going to say, talking about, nice flying airplanes and stuff. I've got something here for a bit of a look at for upcoming an upcoming pilot. Hang on, I'll see if I can bring it up. You might like to have a look at it if I can get this thing to work.
And then after Jonathan, I want to hear from Stuart, and then John Miller.
If I can get this darn thing to work. Hang on.
And while you're doing that, Tony San Bendeno, he says, and he's a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for your support, Tony. I love listening to Flight School, as everything I have is finished, getting repaired, just watching tonight, like provided. Thank you very much, Tony. Did you find that item, Jonathan?
Yeah, I've got it coming up now. I've got to remember how to hook it into you guys.
So you bring it up, and then you go down to our screen here, hit the share screen button, and then you have to reselect what you want to actually share after you hit this.
What's the share look like again? I can't.
It's the green. It's right in the center in the bottom. It's green. It's in the middle of the like bottom tray of our gallery.
Oh, hell,
Maybe move your cursor around toward the bottom, and it'll pop up.
Lost it. Oh, isn't that weird? I thought I had this down now, but
So you have in the bottom of the screen, you have your microphone, your video camera.
no, I haven't got that. It's not there.
Then move the cursor around toward the bottom of your screen till it'll pop up.
Charles, I'm looking at your pictures.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. What you want to do now, cut your piece of carbon a little bit oversized.
Right.
Get the 3M77 and lightly spray it on.
So lightly spray the rail, or lightly spray the carbon fiber first?
The carbon.
Okay, the carbon. Okay, and then
just lay it up on top of it, and then just fold it over, and just the 3M77 is just going to hold it in place for you.
All right. And outside and inside of the rails, right? Need to be carbon fiber? Okay.
You laminate both sides.
Okay.
And that's it.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'll show them when I get done. I haven't done it tonight, but I'll work on it.
And once you do that, they are structural, okay?
Right.
You don't need none of the plywood that's inside of the fuselage.
Say that one more time.
I said they are structural.
All right.
Okay. They are hard point structure at that point. Right. So whatever plywood you have inside of the nose that used to hold the battery in place and stuff like that, you can remove all of that.
Wow. Okay. You find that, Jonathan?
Yeah, I did. But I think what happens is somehow I managed to get I got rid of your screen. Did you see it for a moment briefly or
No,
nothing?
no.
Okay, well, hang on. I'll try again. The control panel at the bottom that you're talking about disappears on me.
Yeah, so does
So-
mine. That's why I was suggesting you move the cursor around.
Yeah. Well, I did, but it didn't seem to make any difference. I couldn't find it. Hang on, I'll try again.
Or maybe try control the control tab. That means a different things. Maybe it's
See, I've just got it all over my screen here, but I can't see anything there that brings you up unless it's
try the alt tab and see what you have a
the
selection.
alt tab.
Alt
What
tab.
did you say?
Yeah, alt tab. Yeah, and then you be able to select different views. Does that help you find what you're looking for? Alt tab. Hit the alt
No.
first, and then tap the tab. Tap the tab. I'm trying to say.
Any play? Oh, I don't know.
Well, just keep working on it. Now, let me get Stuart. Hey,
I'll
Stuart.
just keep fiddling around with it. It might just pop
Yeah.
up.
Okay, Stuart. What
It's
you
gotta
been up
be
to,
here
Stuart?
somewhere.
We went flying today, Lynn. I flew the 10-ton Tudor.
Well, it has a lot of epoxy and CA on it, right? It only gets heavier and heavier.
Loaded up. So, but yeah, it was fun.
That's the 1,000-ounce stunner.
So
Lines like my 90 ship at, 88 ounces. It's just like a brick on a rope.
Yeah, I know.
I had a flight on the Tudor today too, and yeah, it's pretty heavy duty airplane. It's like flying a Volkswagen.
That's funny.
On a monoline.
Well, I'm glad you went out flying, Stuart. That's great.
yeah,
So you only
that's
took
fun.
out the Tudor. You didn't take out anything else.
yeah, I only took it because I can't put the Cardinal in the car at the same time. So
Okay. You need to get a bigger vehicle then.
yeah, I got a trailer actually. I'm gonna get rigged up for RC and
I got a better idea. Get rid of the Tudor and just bring the Cardinal.
well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm just gonna bring it probably next time. But I got a trailer though I'm working on that I can put the control line plus RC planes in it. So
Well, if anyone's missing Gary Sinclair, like I was wondering where he's at. He just popped up in my chat box. He says, "Hi everyone," and he says, "Like provided and on vacation. See you next Monday." All right, we take care, Gary. Thanks for coming in. I've been thinking about you. And then we let John Miller. John Miller, what does your shirt say?
To think while it's still legal.
All right.
Love it.
I'm real subtle, aren't I?
Yeah, well, I expect something like that, so it doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Let's see if I can get it where you can read it all. Yeah, it's my fat belly. There we go.
There we go. Like that.
Yeah,
Very
I
good.
worked to work today. I worked over at the museum. Got a lot of comments from some of the people that were visiting the museum. None of them bad. They all thought it was pretty decent.
Very cool.
And
Well, that's very cool of you to volunteer and do that.
yeah, today was my busy day. I got up this morning, had to do laundry, clean up the cat litter, feed the cats and the dogs, take them for a walk. And then, like I said, I put 2 loads of laundry. I had to come and take 1 load out, put it in the dryer, all that. By the time I got all that done, it was time for me to go to the senior center for lunch. And then from there, it was time for me to go to the museum. And I closed the museum at 5. I'm supposed to be over for the first gig with the band at 5, so I was 15 minutes late getting there. And we did 2 gigs,
Oh.
one at one senior center and one at another one. So, you know, I have been so dang busy, I can't believe it.
Yeah, you wondering how you
You're
ever
most
worked.
working people.
Well, I
Just
don't
think
know
what
how
you're gonna do.
I don't know how I did
Just think
anything when I was working. You know,
Just think how it's gonna be at Christmas, Santa.
I got elves for that.
There you go.
I got it, Charles, I think.
You got it. You got it, Jonathan.
Oh, no, hang on. Oh, God, here we go again.
Just do it more often, and then you'll be a pro at it.
No, here we go again.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, Phil.
Charles, you talking about T-shirts? My wife's got one. It's supposed to be mine, but I couldn't find one in my size. It says, "Hang on, let me overthink this." Pretty well sums up my engineering style.
Very
I'm
good.
trying to make something work.
Very
If
good.
there's a hard way and an easy way, I'll take the hard road every time. Don't mean to, but I do. She agrees every time.
Now, Vicky's there with you.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're both at in the hotel tonight.
Hi, Vicky.
She's Charles says hey. She can't hear you. I'm on the earphones, but
No
she
problem.
can hear you. She
No
can't
problem.
hear. But did you hear her?
Yeah, I did. Hi, y'all.
She
Yeah,
said,
that-
"Oh
that's what
Lord,
South-
Charles
that's
is doing
what
his best Southern imitation." He says, "Hi, y'all."
Yeah.
Oh me. Yeah, and raised.
And
Lord.
hi, Paul, it just makes us think of our old days with Rusty.
Hey, Jonathan's
telling
done it. He's done it.
I miss
Jonathan
Rusty.
has got
He
it
was a
going
mess.
on. Jonathan is bringing it.
Don't see a picture though. Oh, here it is.
There it is.
Oh me,
All
that's
right.
pretty.
Oh, very cool. Oh man.
Cool deal.
That's fun.
A slinger. I had one of those when I was a kid.
The old whip line ones, eh?
Yeah, I had
he's
mine
having
on
a
a
hell of
stick.
a lot of. That was early this morning. Out the
I
back.
put mine on a stick.
Standing.
Made it a little easier to whip.
Yeah, that's actually on a stick. I'll just run it again. I don't know. Look, I've got no idea how I got it to go, guys. I got.
That's a heck of a pretty backyard you got.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, we're lucky. Way off in the distance, you can see Auckland, but it's a pretty crappy camera, so it's not very detailed. But
I haven't
Yeah.
been there
Young
yet.
to
That's one of
learn.
the places on my bucket list.
Oh, that is so cool. That
he's
is-
having a lot of fun.
yeah, he is. That
Yeah,
is so
like
Sounds
cool.
14,
awesome.
15 years old with the half A's, and they'd run out of fuel, and you just keep whipping and flying.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, have you guys ever been close enough to a combat match that you could hear it all day long?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
little motors, turn so much RPM. When we left the
Oh.
field, I still hear those darn things in my ears.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
they give you tinnitus.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, when
Right.
Winnipeg, one of the guys was beating the hell out of this guys with a fast combat plane
Can't get rid of it.
with a Fox
Yeah.
30 Mark IV. And what was
Yeah.
hilarious, I hope I got it on video. I tried to. There was a couple of starlings attacking it.
Oh Lord.
Yes, they were pretty maneuverable. I'll tell you that. And the lines
Yeah,
never
I
caught.
tell you.
Thank you, John.
Well,
I'm
I
gonna
did-
end
I
the,
did-
share.
I did battle with a Starling with a Stiletto 35 on its third flight. The score was Starling 1, Stiletto nothing.
In Wisconsin, we used to have the Nighthawks that come out. You get, getting close to the evening, and they
Uh-huh.
come out and attack your airplane.
Yeah.
Huh. Let me give
This one,
Carl a chance to get into the conversation, even if he just wants to say hi. Hey, Carl, how you doing?
Carl, you're muted. Come on, say something.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
There he
I
is.
hear you, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing fine. I Only thing I did today was my order of lines came in from Brodac, so I spent this afternoon on putting 2 eyelets on one each line, and I'll go out tomorrow morning and roll them out and finish them up. So that was my day.
Very good. Very good. Well, good to see you, Carl. Thanks for coming in.
I don't know how to bring up and share pictures, but I don't know if that might show up.
You don't know how to do that?
No, I'll have to figure it out someday.
All right, I see a vector there and on the bottom.
Yeah, there's a vector and Banshee and one of my RSTs, and in the background, one of my flight streaks.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's Kevin King. He just picked that up to learn more of the pattern with. And
Very
the guy
cool.
beside me with the Banshee, we were on gliding together at Rivers, Manitoba, the old Air Force base in 1977. And I hadn't seen him since.
Oh my goodness.
So he made in that Banshee today. It was that day, a beautiful airplane. And then I had him fly my RST a couple of flights and said, yeah, ring it out. Anything you can do. I don't care. It's a trainer. And it was really a good day of camaraderie. And then let me see here.
Hey, Bob, what you say you have trouble bringing up pictures? I'll give you some lessons sometime. I'm getting good at it.
Yeah, he needs to put it on his computer to do that too.
And there's Kevin's wife. I gave her that airplane and a set of lines and handle to learn to fly on.
Oh, nice. Nice.
What did you fly, Bob, in the way of gliders?
Schweitzer 233s, 222s, Grobe 35, Sleeper K7.
Oh,
okay, yeah. I flew Blanik and T-53.
Oh, I
Ron
forgot.
Luca.
Also flown a Blanik, yeah.
Yeah, T-53. I used to like that. And I flew a Ron Luca, Slingsby Ron Luca. I think it's Slingsby Ron Luca. And there was another one, a Janus, a German glass ship.
Yeah,
and boy, she was slippery. Man, she was nice.
Yeah, that Grobe 35 for a 2-place was pretty darn good performance. That was back in 89, I think, when I was flying that. And I was up on a really crappy day for lift. I was the junior officer there, like the most junior. So the commanding officer was a real knob. Took the first flight when the weather looked like it was coming in. I had the last flight and he was all PO'd at me at the end of it because I was up for pushing an hour while doing aerobatics.
Very nice. Very nice.
Good.
Let me catch up on the chat box. Let me see here. McBride 001. He's also a member of our YouTube channel. I believe this is Ruben. And it says, Ruben likes sent. Thank you, Ruben. And he says, Stephen has not done any flying since VSC. Wind was always strong, and now what? 100 plus heat is a problem. Parking lot at IKEA has become a truck stop, and all the trailers are filled up. So well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's too bad. And then Brent Williams goes on to say, not sure if John Miller gave an update, but Gordon Delaney has been in the hospital for 3 days.
I didn't know that.
With an infection, and he's being monitored, possibly home tomorrow if tests are improved. Oh,
I
man.
did not know that.
I'm sorry.
Wow, two of our buddies.
Sorry to hear that. And, then Dennis B, as in Dennis B as in boy, he says, just a question. Wouldn't you drill the hole first? I think he's talking about the making your own props. Any comment on that, Tryon?
You're muted, Tryon.
Yeah, that's what I said. Drill the hole first, and you have the same hole in the template, and you have the same hole in your block of wood, and you use that hole from that point on as a reference to balance, to do everything off of that hole. You have one hole and one line. So when you get your template, you have only half of it. So you align the tick mark and you flip it over to the other side, you draw it on the other side. Simple. It's not hard. It's the hardest thing is just deciding for the shape of the blade and the side view. That's the hardest thing. Once you have those two things, you have the templates, put them in your pocket, and you can make the prop anytime you want to.
All right. I have a question, Tryon, on the rails that I'm making. I know I do the 3M spray and then laminate both sides of the rails. Now, after that's done, then do you put epoxy into the this thin CA?
Yep.
All right.
It's gonna soak right through. It's gonna glue the carbon. Everything, you're done. You send it off after that if you want to. It's good and quick.
All right. Thank you. I might need to buy some more CA.
If anyone wants a little bit more detail on prop making, but on a full scale application, look up, I forget the lady's name, but the Culver Prop Company on YouTube videos. And
Seen that. It's amazing.
Yeah. And look it up.
It's called Culver.
And she's good.
It's called Culver what?
Culver.
ER. Kind of like culvert without the T.
All right. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So right now we're up to 23 concurrent viewers and we have 27 likes. So at the height of our audience, we was up to, it looks like 29 viewers. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do that. Please consider doing a super chat. I know that Sparky won't see that money till the next month, but he's doing the live streams out there at Muncie, Indiana for our enjoyment. And so please hit us up with super chats or even the new memberships. Join the YouTube channel to help us out. So please do that. And then go ahead, Lynn Burrell.
I was just going to say, Charles, before my computer went bad, I was mentioning that prop mold I gave to George Waters to use because I wasn't going to use it. All the other molds that I got from Wendy went to Sparky. So he has all of them. If anybody is interested in anything from those or whatever, Sparky has them. He has the spinner mold. He has the, there was another one I gave to him. I can't remember them all, but
the landing gear.
The landing gear mold is the only one I have left. I still have it here. Haven't decided if I'm going to make. I do have the landing gear mold still. He gave me a bunch of blank landing gears out of his stuff, like all he had left, and I've used most of them up, so I may have to make some. That's the only reason I kept that mold. It does make a really good landing gear mold and very lightweight, so I may try to make some of those. It doesn't seem like that one's too complicated to do. You just use the carbon fiber toe and lay it out and put it in the
impression I have too. Of all of them, that would be the simpler one to do. Yeah, I could see why you kept that one. That prop one looks like it was pretty intense with him bolting it down, and
I think it's pretty intense. I mean, some of the parts when Wendy gave it to me were in pretty bad shape too. It was pretty rusty. I mean, it had been left for quite a while. Nothing had been done to it. And he actually didn't give me all of the parts to it. Like I have the parts for making 4-blade props, for 3-blade props, but some of the parts must have been missing because I didn't have what I needed to make 4-blade props anymore. Only 3 blades. It was set up for 3-blade props. The 3 parts were screwed to the bottom of the mold, and then the other 3 parts that go on the top after, they were there, but the other 2 that were missing for adjusting it for a 4-blade were not there. And I called Wendy and asked him about them, and he said he didn't know where they were or where they'd gotten to. So that was kind of the end of that.
Yeah.
We'll see you later. I'm out of here.
All right. Hey, thanks, Stuart, for coming in. Appreciate it.
All right.
Take it easy, Stuart.
Charles, is John still there? How's that
John,
finger, John?
yeah, John's still here.
Yeah.
Which
John
John?
Miller, how's that finger?
Nobody pays attention to me when I'm driving anymore.
I
They don't realize you're telling them they're number one. Oh man.
I know, you know. I told
I
the
take it it's
doctor when
all-
he's cutting it off, I says, well, can you put that on a stick where I could put it on the dashboard? That way I could just grab it and go, yeah.
John, you don't use your finger anymore. You use your arm.
Oh,
Oh,
Gets the same
Santa,
message
what are you gonna
across.
do with you?
well, there's the old New York one, you know, hey.
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
Hey,
No.
speaking of driving, you guys, I'm blowing New Zealand's whistle here a bit. There's a guy called Van Gisbergen came over and cleaned you guys up at the Indy the other day.
Did he
Did you hear
now?
about that?
No.
He's
He
never
must have-
he's never raced he's never raced that sort of car before. Well, yeah, similar car down here in Aussie and Bathurst, and here the V8s. What used to be the old Holden V8, so I think you call them Pontiac V8s. They rebadged them and made them in Aussie and rebadged them in America. Anyway, he was driving those things around, and he went over and won the Indy the other day.
Well,
Apparently,
congratulations.
yeah, blew everyone away. Nobody could believe it. They thought, where the hell's this guy come from? He's never raced on that sort of track before, and he won. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, he started off in Aussie the other day. He was 29th, and he ended up about 4th because he had mechanical problems. And he started off at the back of the track, and he came right up through the race. So, yeah, it was quite funny, really.
Good driver.
You Kiwis,
Yeah.
Indians, or look at all those First World War and Second World War replicas and rebuilds that are done there.
Sorry,
They're
Bob, I
magnificent.
missed all of that. You were chopping up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the whole connection's going bad, I think. Yeah, and I always admire in New Zealand your mechanical aptitude and flying and driving skills, like John Munro with the world's fastest Indian. I watched that footage many times. And your First World War replica factory there, and the air shows, and the Second World War.
Oh, yes, yeah.
That mosquito and just everything that you guys churn out for restorations and whatnot is just incredible.
There's quite a few good rebuilds done down here. They have what's called the Warbirds down at Lake Wanaka in the South Island. And if you here we go.
Airplanes, Charles.
They're talking airplanes, Charles.
Talking airplanes.
You are?
Yeah.
Yes.
It didn't sound like
Yeah,
it.
we're talking airplanes.
All right. Okay.
We're talking First World War and Second World War.
All right, okay. I thought we were still talking about cars and stuff. Pardon me.
Oh no.
Pay attention.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story.
Unbelievable.
I'll tell you a funny story. The airplane, Charles will bring that airplane out again in a minute. But down the South Island at that Wanaka Air Show, one of the guys who used to fly down there almost killed himself in a Spitfire. I don't know. I think it was about a Mark 9. It's where the propeller rotated the other way, and he set the trim wrong, took off, and of course she rolled. She yawed on takeoff, rolled over, and he crashed and damn near killed himself.
Wow.
And Wallace was his name. And I found out my cousin, who died recently down the South Island, is where they pioneered shooting deer and bringing them out by chopper. And then they thought, well, there's no money in this. We'll have to start capturing them. So they used to shoot them with a net. And my cousin, Keith Hazelwood, used to jump out of the chopper that Sir Wallace used to fly and jump out on the Alps, jump out about 20 feet on top of these damn things after he had netted them, and they'd haul them out 2 or 3 at a time and then start farming them. So anyway, that's an aside, but it's an interesting place. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mark 9 and the Mark 16 Spitfire were very similar. They both had the American built, Packard built, and ran backwards.
Yeah.
And you see why they get into the problem on takeoff if they never owned the one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mark 16, it was sort of a development it had the sliding bubble canopy, and most of them had the clipped wingtips. And part of this wood stash that I just picked up is to go towards building a Mark 16 Spitfire, the old Mark Freeman one from American Aircraft Modeler in 1973 or 74. It was a beautiful airplane. So with a Stunthangar 46. So that's where some of this wood's destined for. I've already got the forms are made for mold fuselage shells and the canopy. So big project is very much an Al-Rabi, influenced by him a lot.
Yeah.
I modify the fuselage.
Plans on outer zone.
Yeah. I'm going to modify the fuselage formers to be like Al's later ones, how he built them with the and much easier alignment. And but that'll be a minor modification for that build.
Nice
that and the Sea Fury have been dream list most of my life. And I've got the short kit from Umland for the LC Fury, and then I've got the plans and the molds and everything done for the Spitfire. So probably about January, I'm going to start on those projects.
Good on you.
Good. I have a question for
Phil.
Phil.
You still there?
For who?
For Phil, and so does Lynn. Go ahead, Lynn.
I wanted to ask Phil Bailey a question. Phil,
Go
do
for
you
it.
know who won today?
Yeah. I don't know who won old time. I wish I did, but we had to leave right quick. But Sparky was fourth, Steve Moon was third, Tom Dixon was second, and oh, for heaven's sakes,
John Simpson, right?
John Simpson was first.
In
John
classic?
Simpson
And that was in
classic. John flew like there was no wind. He was amazing. He was just flying really well today.
All right. How
But they
about
all-
Nostalgia 30? Did you notice?
No, I didn't. Nostalgia 30,
Okay.
there was 3 guys in there that were pretty close, and I don't know who won. I'll find out in the morning. And
Okay.
like I say, we had to leave. We had to leave in a hurry. Had a little problem pop up and had to leave right quick. But I'll find out tomorrow. Try to let you know Friday
problem.
night. But I'm
Sounds
telling you
good.
what, there are 2 twins here that are outstanding. Bob Hunt brought his turning point, and Frank McMillan brought a plane. I didn't see a name on it, but I went in the hangar. Well, it's not hangar. It's the building there at AMA when they were doing the appearance judging, and I don't envy Steve Moon and his son did the appearance judging. I did not envy them a bit. Man, that was a tight crowd. But the 3 planes that were on the front row, and I don't know who won the pilot's choice, but it was either a red, white, blue Novar, or it was a red and white Dreadnought that Don Jenkins brought, or it was our old pal's Dog. Those 3 airplanes were outstanding. I mean, Howard's Dog was so shiny, it looked like you could reach
That's
into
awesome.
it.
That's
They
awesome.
all look really good. And I got to pick the Dog up. I don't care what Howard says, that plane is not that heavy. And he's apparently flying it quite well. I only got to see him from 300 yards away. So, I mean, I could just barely make him out. But Howard's quite a pilot. He's come on. I knew when he's on the world team, he's got to be a good pilot.
Yeah.
But he was flying today. He was flying quite well. So it's going to be a good deal. It's going to be an interesting match. I have to leave Saturday at lunch, but I'm going to get to see part of the first round anyway. And I'm not Saturday, Wednesday. Excuse me.
Friday.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Wednesday. Okay.
Wednesday. No, not that I know of. Wednesday at lunch, and
Okay.
we're going to Delaware. But I tell you what, it's from what I've seen so far, it's a tight crowd this year. And Les McDonald's been here. I got to see him again, talk to him again. He's one of my all-time heroes. Bob Hunt, of course. Several others, Frank McMillan, and several others that I've followed through the years and really like. But there's a bunch of good flyers here today. And Aristides Hernandez is flying up to his billing. The man can fly a toy airplane, I'm telling you. He's amazing. Cold this morning. His first flight, he looked like top 10 day. It was a top 5 day. He was amazing. I got to see.
Did you go to the banquet Sunday?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It was a lot of fun. And they gave us these little medallions, 50th year and all that. In fact, wait a minute, I'll see if I can show you one.
Mark made a brilliant speech.
He did indeed.
Mark did a heck of a good job. He really did.
It was very good.
I don't want to toot his horn too much, but he did an amazing job.
Oh, look at that.
Very nice.
Oh,
That's
nice.
one side of it. That's one side of it. And here's the other side.
Oh,
That is awesome.
That is what
Yeah,
coin.
they did really nice. It's really pretty. And they gave those to us on the way in. And then we also got a decal that Ed, I can't remember his last name. I can't pronounce it right. He's on here, the guy from West Virginia.
Oh, Ed, yeah, Wask or
Okay.
Yeah. He and his wife made a couple donations to Pampa, and they are very generous people, very nice. And they gave a couple of well, you saw, I'm sure if you saw the video, you saw the what do you call those things? It's not a sign, it's a, well, anyway, it said Pampa and it had a picture on the bottom. Really nice. Whatever
yes,
the thing.
yeah.
You talking about those banners that pull up?
A banner. That's
banner,
right.
banner.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They gave a couple really nice banners, and it was a really neat show. The whole thing was just a lot of fun. But I got to meet Dave Gerke. I'd always loved his designs, but had never met him. Didn't know he was a teacher. Got to meet him. Like I say, got to talk to Les McDonald at length about the stiletto, and found out some things about that plane I never knew. I thought I knew all the stilettos. I learned a lot I didn't know. But we had a really good time. It was a great talk, and it was a great time before and after. We all got together, just shooting the breeze. But we got to meet Jerry Phelps' daughter and granddaughter.
That's
Some
neat.
of you know, Jerry and I were friends, and I always really enjoyed talking to him. Jerry, if Jerry sent you something, like I ordered propellers from him back when he was making, everybody called them Phelps props, but they're really props that Bill Werwis designed. Jerry would put more workmanship in the cardboard box that he shipped you the propellers in than most people put in the product they sent you.
Wow.
And the propellers, when you took them out, they were perfect. You didn't have to do anything but bolt them on the airplane. They were absolutely perfect. And Jerry was just a one of a kind guy. He was he was very, very meek and very mild mannered, but everything Jerry put his hand to was dead nuts. I mean, he didn't know how to do something second best. He was going to do it right if he could do it, and he did. He was a great guy.
Bill, a question for you.
Oh, and Mary, by the way, is in hospital. Keep her in her prayers.
No.
Yeah, they found her between the beds in the hotel room.
Oh, God.
Saturday night, I understand, or Sunday morning. And Chris Cox, you probably already heard about Chris Cox. He had a heart attack. He's in the hospital. So, I don't know. It's been a busy week. But
So that's 3 blasted epidemic.
Chris had 2 stents put in on Saturday, on I don't know what day, Friday or Saturday, Sunday.
It was Sunday.
Anyway, And he got 2 more put in today, I understand. I haven't heard for sure, but he was
Oh,
going
my
to have 2 more
goodness.
put in today.
I don't know why they did it in 2 separate procedures. So I had all 4 of mine done at once and get it over with.
No
It
idea.
depends.
No idea. I haven't got to talk to him. I saw his airplane, talked to his wife a little bit, and she's in good spirits and says he is. So I think everything's going to be all right. But we're just kind of surprised that to hear that he had a heart attack because he looked so healthy and always, it's just Chris. He never changes. It's always just Chris. So it's that was a stunner, but word was he's doing well and in good spirits, so everything will be all right.
Yeah, I
Oh,
last months ago, and he was just fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
John.
I got a question for Phil.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything about the stunt history book. That I know they were there at the banquet. I just wondered what you thought of it, what it was like.
It's gorgeous. It's I have a set. It's a 2-volume set, and it comes in a cardboard sheet. I have a set out in the car. Wynn autographed it for me and then wrapped it up. They put it back in the sheath and wrapped it up for me in plastic. So I don't really want to open it till I get home. But I wish I'd had it with me today. I didn't think about it. I'd have got Wynn, Paul, Bob Hunt, and a couple others to sign it. But I didn't think about it. Never occurred to me.
John, if you want to go back into the video earlier, and Sparky was showing his.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sparky's here. Sparky's across the hall, in fact. And Tom Dixon's next door. It's pretty neat crowd around here this week.
Yeah, I got Ken to pick mine up for me, and I just sent him the check down. And
you will enjoy it.
Wynn's pretty trusting. He just said, send a check in American funds. Okay.
Wynn's always been like that. That's just Wynn. It's just he's always been like that. I met him 45 years ago, and he's always been like that. He's another great guy. There are a lot of really good people in this sport.
Yeah, it was cute in his speech there. He was going on the one Stunthangar the one Stunt News where it was the April Fool's one that got everyone going. And I posted that hanger about 3 or 4 years ago, and I got some people going on Stunthangar with it. It was hilarious.
You remember the other one that he did? He sent out a Stunt News. He sent out a Stunt News one year, and it said the tune pipe has just been banned. We're banning the tune pipe from competition. And then you read down the next page, true to form, the next page, April Fools. Boy, you talk about raising a stink.
He didn't tell the story about the Super Tiger 46 being discontinued, though. Because in the actual joke was it's been discontinued because Super Tiger is going to be building screen doors for the Italian Navy submarines.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You heard the part about the Nats are going to be in Hawaii. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's got a wild sense of humor, but he is a great guy. I did not realize that some of the guys are in their 80s. I mean, you don't think about these guys being in their 80s, but I don't think about myself being as old as I am either. So, I'm older than either one of my parents lived to be and still feel like a young fella, but the mind says you can still do it and the body says, nah, sucker, forget it. You ain't doing that no more.
Like I've said on here more than once, it's such an honor and a privilege for me to meet and interact and be friends with the guys who were my heroes when I was a kid.
Ain't that the truth? And the funny thing is, this is the only hobby I've ever been, only sport I've ever been in. And I've done everything I can think of except lacrosse. I've never played lacrosse. It's the only sport I've ever been in where you can be on the flight line and be ready to go fly, something break, and your lead competitor will bring you what you need to beat him.
Yeah.
I don't know anywhere else you do that. But anyway, I've had it happen.
You still there in Muncie, Phil?
Yes, sir. Still here, Steve. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. You leaving tomorrow or are you gonna spend
Wednesday at lunch. Yeah, we're gonna stick around and watch part of the first round and then we're gonna bug out. I did get to see Paul Walker fly the Anteater one time, though. That thing flies. It
Yeah,
looks weird, but it flies. Flies so well. But
I asked him
very
what
neat.
happened to his other 3 motors on it.
Oh, I bet you got a reaction. Oh
Yeah,
man,
he didn't get it done for the Nats. So
I'll tell you,
Hey, Phil, has anybody said anything about the world champs?
it's gonna be here. It'll be here next year. It'll be in, I think it's in August. They're gonna move the control line Nats to August so that it doesn't interfere with anything else. But it'll be the control line Nats, and I don't know if it's, I can't remember if it's the Worlds and then the Nats, or the Nats and then the Worlds. But I think it's the Nats. I can't remember. I don't want to tell you wrong.
Usually, it's like over there, whatever country hosts the World Championships, then has the European Championship or whatever the week before. So the guys go there and practice or fly the week before, and then they're already there for, in. It's usually not the same place, but it's in the same, the same country, which is like it's the same state here.
Yeah, well, they've been talking about that a lot this week, and everybody's looking forward to it. I'm already planning to book the room for 2 weeks for next year. My wife has already given me the go ahead to book the room. We're coming. So anyway, it's gonna be.
I got to meet Phil's wife. She's really nice. We get to hear her on the video chats once in a while, talk to him, but never see her. But
well, don't let her fool you. She can be a taskmaster.
Yeah.
She's, put it this way, she's kept me in line for 48 years. I must like some part of this abuse.
I feel sorry for
her. I think she deserves a medal. I thought about giving her my Pampa pin because she deserves it. She's a good kid.
Yeah.
But
coming down, I don't know who said it. It was on the LPAD, but because I brought them 20 airplanes down there, and some, about half of them or whatever had motors and everything on them, some brand new. But I said, yeah, I only spent like $300 and some to come down there and give away a few $1,000s worth of airplanes.
Yeah.
And guy said, I was going, well, he goes, I don't think you'll make it on the Mensa list or something.
No.
You're being smart.
No. Well, I was going to give you some money while he's here, and you got away before I could give
Yeah,
it to you. So
I'll see you around, Phil. So
all right. Anyway, we got it was a blast seeing you, Steve. I wish you could have stuck around a while. Yeah. You would have really enjoyed the dinner. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, my mom's living here. Samantha came, took care of everything for a couple days, and
oh yeah,
and I'm gonna leave the first week of August, and I'm gonna go down to the Grand American trap shoots. I'm gonna shoot the Grand American.
Where's that gonna be?
It's in Illinois, right outside of St. Louis. It's right over close to St. Louis. So I'm gonna
that ought to be a fun time.
Yeah, since I lost my oh shit.
Mind.
My mind's gone. But I lost my my match by one target to taking.
Oh man.
So yeah.
There's the airplane.
Hey, you know what, Charles? I gave away 20 of them damn things. You think I care about airplanes anymore?
I still care about airplanes.
I really don't give a shit.
I still care about airplanes.
I tell you what,
kick me off.
We had a lot of fun with them. We're gonna have a lot of fun again with them. Steve's all right. He's a little crazy, but he's all right. I'll tell you what.
Charles, if it's okay with you and your little airplane, I'd like to show Jonathan something that keeps me in the hobby.
What's that?
I'll show you. Picture is going to be worth 1,000 words. Just a minute. I got to go upstairs for it. I'll cut you off for a minute here.
Okay.
Steve, I'll tell you one thing. You got better shoulders than I got, buddy.
Why is that?
I tried trap shooting a few weeks ago, and after about 6 shots, I was ready to quit. My old shoulder just can't take
You
it
got
anymore.
just 6 more minutes, and then we have the after party. You guys talk about whatever you want, okay? Just 6 more minutes.
Trayan, you still on here?
He's gone.
No, try and left.
Oh, shucks. I was going to ask him if he was the one, if that 5-blade prop Wendy came up with, if that was one of his culprits. That was a weird looking propeller, but
I think that was before Tryan.
Probably. That thing had a sound. It was unbelievable. It sounded normal when he cranked the motor, and takeoff sounded a little strange because when it loaded up, it really loaded up. But when that thing unloaded in a dive, it made a sound that I've never heard out of a model before. The only thing weirder was, if you remember, Randy Smith years ago had that Magnum that had a one
counter
blade
rotating prop. Yeah.
normal and one blade turned the
Counter
opposite way.
rotating.
Now the second one was fluid drive. I didn't know air was a fluid, but anyway, it was just on 2 bearings, and it was just driven by the front prop. But when the motor quit, it sounded like the longest, loudest bilabial frigative you ever heard. And it was
Charles.
I mean, you could hear that thing for 2 blocks. It was amazing.
What do you got there, Bob Whitley?
This is from New Zealand. It's one of the top hand crank circular knitting machines in the world.
Oh,
for goodness
that's the knitting machines.
That's for knitting socks and stuff
socks
or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's hand cranked, and anyway, just a beautiful piece of kit. And my wife just got it recently from a lady in New Zealand that makes them.
All right, very, very cool.
And that's what I don't object one bit about her hobbies or anything, because her hobbies in the end are way cheaper than mine.
I
It
bet.
looks big enough to get a whole sheep down it.
Just about, yeah. There's some fancier ones out there. I did a restoration on an antique one that is in one of the museums around here. Did that a few years ago. She's got 3 other ones, 2 of which we're going to sell. But anyway, enough of that. Back to airplanes.
Yeah, 2 more minutes.
Now, see, David, he made a new airplane for this year.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
It's a different. He says it's the same nose, but I don't think so. I look.
Is it electric or glow, Steve?
Glow.
It's glow. It is glow. I was stunned. I asked him about it. He says, "Not yet." He said he was still working.
Orestes has a brand new airplane too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he crashed he whacked 2 of them.
He did.
Yeah, something happened. He said he was he had the one all back together, needed some paint or something, and the other one, the one before, something with that, and he had to fix it. But he was flying well.
Well, he's flying very well. I knew he was flying a new airplane. I did not know he whacked his old one.
You know, I'd seen a lot of them guys practice, but he was the only one that was hitting his bottoms. You know, I don't know why anybody would practice without flying what they're going to fly in the contest. You know, it's like you can't be afraid of the ground 90% of the time and then try to pull off your bottoms.
Fitzgerald is the only one I've ever seen that could do that. Fly all day and practice and come out at 6 feet, just playing it safe. And then as soon as the judges walk out there, he's dead on 4 feet, just boom. But I've never seen anybody else do it. It was incredible. He's Fitzgerald's something else, but if it comes down to Fitzgerald and Walker and Orestes, I hate to say it, guys, I think Orestes got him beat.
Yeah, Paul was pretty good. Paul had him down probably, 5.5, but Orestes, I mean, he was nailing 5 foot just over and over. On everything, he was just really putting in bottoms and stuff like that.
Yeah, it looked good. I couldn't believe how many people. It surprised me today. how many people take off? They just give up their takeoff points. They just yank it into the air at 5 feet. You know, plane takes off and 7 foot later it's at 5 feet. You're sitting there. What did you do that for? What'd you get all those points?
I tell you
And
what,
then-
you know, I launched for Rusty's, and he took off just like he was flying for the world championships. Because when that plane got to me, we'll just watch it come up, bang,
Yeah,
5 foot. I
he's
mean,
amazing to watch.
I mean, he really practices to be perfect on every flight. He just
Every
doesn't
flight.
put in flights for bad habits and stuff.
The other
Hey guys,
thing
I have an answer for the N30 T-Bone 1260. Tom Luciano, he said Bruce Jennings won N30.
Yeah.
There was a
Makes
question
sense.
on that.
If Sparky won Classic, he was in the lead, but
No,
No,
he was fourth.
fourth.
Ended up fourth.
yeah, second round he had a lean run.
Oh shit.
I don't know what else went wrong, but that's pretty bad. But he didn't take it a second attempt. You're waving goodbye, John. You know what? The show it's past 9 o'clock out here, so I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming in, and hopefully you have a chance to work on your shop or do some flying and come back Friday and tell us all about it. Tune in for the live streams from the Nats, and please support Sparky by providing some super chats or joining to help him offset the costs of the bandwidth. So with that being said, fair winds and tight lines. See ya.